Jimmy Butler, Miami Heat, OG Jimmy Butler for sure, was forced to change jerseys before Saturday's game against the Nuggets. Now, we all remember Butler wanted to wear a jersey that had no name on it or no social justice statement on the back. He just wanted to go out nameless. And basically his point, well, he's I don't have to, he speaks about it here. He spoke post-game about being told to switch his jersey to one that had his name on the back. The NBA is sending a mixed message by forcing Butler to switch jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to say out of bounds because I don't think it's a mixed message. I just think, I don't know what the message is, to be honest with you. I don't think it's mixed. I think they're making a statement about social justice by allowing the player to wear whatever it is they want on the back of their jerseys. Usually, most guys are putting slogans, whether it's Black Lives Matter or vote or whatever it may be, say her name or say his name, etc. Or they have their names. Why? I don't know what message they're sending by saying Jimmy Butler can't have anything. He wants to be nameless. It's about the team. That's how I would take it. In all these years of strife with organizations or teams or teammates, I don't think it's been of selfish reasons. I think it's been because he wants the team to be better. So I'm gonna say out of bounds. I don't know what the mixed message is.
Yeah, I agree. My answer is out of bounds, and I'm a big Butler fan. I love his old school tenacity. He's blunt.
Yep.
He is, he's showing up to work every day. How would you not want Jimmy Butler on your team? Everybody would. I think that, pertaining to this angle, you do have to have rules, and I'm sure some people would disagree, but you got to have rules. You came up with roughly 20 messages that you could use. That's great. Let the players do it. Most have elected not to. Most have elected to. Like LeBron and Anthony Davis have James and Davis on theirs. But still, I guess, this is just a rough guess from watching some games, 90% of the players have some sort of message on there.
Yeah.
But that was outlined beforehand. You just can't. It's still the NBA. You can't have guys doing things so when they walk to midcourt for the opening tip, not everybody's abiding by all the same rules. Here's the 20 or so messages you can use, and if you don't use those, you have to have your name. You can't just go out there blank.
Yeah.
That's easy. That's out of bounds. That's just remaining consistent with rules. And no matter how much money you make, there still has to be rules. So I love Butler, and I love that he quickly acquiesced, but I have no problem with what the NBA did here. None at all. And now, reportedly this week, Minnesota's working on a multi-year deal for their GM, Rick Spielman. However, running back Dalvin Cook's made it clear for months he's seeking the new deal, something else we've discussed before the season starts, and that remains unresolved, Tiki. So, inbounds or out of bounds, the Vikings should have done contract extensions for head coach Mike Zimmer and GM Rick Spielman before Dalvin Cook.
Well, I think if you're going to do Mike Zimmer, you might as well do the general manager and tie them together. So I'm going to say inbounds of this. Now, I do still think they need to get, and they're unrelated because the money is not tied in any way. Obviously, Dalvin Cook is tied to the salary cap. Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer are tied to how much the ownership wants to pay Mike Zimmer and Rick Spielman. But I do believe that you should tie your general manager and head coach together, especially ones that have been together as long as they have. Now, they've been together six seasons. This will be their 7th season together, and they've done really well defensively. I mean, they're perpetually top 10, or perennially, I should say, top 10 in the National Football League. Offense, they're here and there, and
they're pretty good.
They're good, but they're here and there. I'm talking about rating wise and numbers wise, but they're good enough to win. I think they should have put them together because it's a good team. And when it goes south, I think they'll go south together, and it would mean it's time to move on. So I'm going to say inbounds.
I'm going to say inbounds too, but I'm also going to say it doesn't really matter because they're going to get the Dalvin Cook deal done. And just because as they signed Zimmer a week or so ago and now Spielman, they're working on that multi-year deal. It's not like you're taking from the piggy bank, and it obviously it precludes you from signing Dalvin Cook. And there's emotions at play, and this guy feels like he's getting hosed. He's been a big piece of the success. No, those are completely separate entities. The head coach GM duo dynamic, which I agree, if you can lock them in and have them contractually in unison, I think that's always advantageous for a franchise. And Dalvin Cook is, when he's right, he's a difference maker. I think Kirk Cousins kind of needs him.
Yep.
And without Stephon Diggs, although I love who they drafted, the kid from LSU, 23rd I think it was, Jefferson. I think that's one of the steals, so I love that pick. But this will get done. I say inbounds, but really at the end of the day, it's more about symbolism and nothing tangible. I don't think it really matters. It's all going to get done. On here, Teak, the Rockets 2-0 thus far during the restart. 2 games. They've come from behind to win over the weekend. They beat the Mavericks, beat the Bucks, 2 good teams, as we know. James Harden pumping in nearly 40 a game while being efficient, 56% from the field overall, while Russell Westbrook put in 31 in both games. He's got 60 deuce. In or out. The Rockets have a greater chance of reaching the finals in the bubble than they do under normal circumstances, or did under normal circumstances this season, in or out.
I mean, I think this is inbounds, BT, because we don't know how other teams are going to fare throughout this kind of environment that they're in. Not that I'm making it higher, but given what was going on before the stoppage and outside of the bubble, I do think that this isolated environment is really good for the Houston Rockets because it gets their 2 superstars kind of, I think, focused a little bit and dialed in. Not that they're aloof or their minds aren't places, but I think that the lack of distraction, the lack of home court disadvantage, because they're going to be somewhere, is going to help these 2 stars. So I'm going to say inbounds of this.
I'm going to say inbounds too, and Tiki knows as well as anybody, I have zero faith in the Rockets to win a championship, and I've voiced that for years on this show, years. But this is unique.
Yep.
This is a little quirky. This is a little freelance. This is a little schoolyard. This is just...
Defense is sometimes optional.
A little optional. We've seen some high scores for sure. Man. This is just, you have those 2 guys who could be who are just such, now Westbrook's an uber athlete.
Yep.
Harden's a great scorer. He's not an uber athlete. But you put those 2 things together, even though his footwork and dexterity is incredible. You put those 2 things together, and you've got a recipe to surprise some people. So my answer is absolutely inbounds. And I still don't think that they will win it. But, yes, they have more of a chance to win it in the bubble than if it was a conventional finish. All rise. Yankee slugger Aaron Judge is going deep, 5 straight games, and he's got 6 in those 5. He leads majors with 6 so far, and they're all clutch too. Now, after setting the rookie home run record at the time, which Pete Alonso has since passed, Judge has had back-to-back injury-plagued seasons, hitting 27 home runs in each of the past 2 years, despite missing a lot of games. In or out, Judge, all rise, is the best pure home run hitter in baseball right now.
Pure home run hitter. Most natural pure home run hitter. I'm probably still going to say Trout.
Pure?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it probably is Judge. I'll say inbounds, only because he just does it so effortlessly. Remember the home run derby a couple years ago? It's like he was toying with it. It wasn't even like dramatic. It's just like, I'm going to hit 15 here. Well, I'm going to hit 25. I'm going to hit 12. Whatever I want to do, I'm going to do. So I'm going to say, I'll say inbounds.
Absolutely inbounds here. Now, just for a little perspective, the other players that are in play would be Alonso, despite the slow start. He's a masher. I love Pete Alonso.
But he's only in his second year.
Yeah, he's only in his second year. Pitcher's figuring him out now. He's got to make the adjustment, blah, blah, blah. Giancarlo Stanton, when he's healthy, his exit velo always supports his natural home run process or prowess. I look at...
he's got an odd swing, though.
He does. No, it's
like a chop.
Yes, it's choppy. It's a muscle-bound swing. Judge has a fluid swing. And Judge... Listen, I'm going to look at exit velo. So just natural, consistent contact. Who hits the ball consistently the hardest? And your answers are the 3 guys that I just mentioned. The numbers bear that out. Now, Stanton pulls the ball a little bit more. Judge is pulling the ball a lot this year. They all could go deep, dead center. That's a given. But, I just think that Judge is the more refined hitter of the 3 right now. He's got the most pure power, and he's got the most leverage, being 6'7". It does look easy. Inbounds, he's the guy. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.